Welcome back to Wario Land II. So, Chapter 2, SS Teacup.
Yes,
Chapter 2 on Part 2.
Story 1, return the hen to the nest. So yeah, Wario's hand ran away, so we have to get her back.
Oh, I thought you said Wario's hand for a second.
Does your right hand come off?
Well, we just need to find...
Reference, don't worry.
We just need to find this female cock and get her back to her nest.
So, since it's Wario, I'm guessing it's a hand that produces golden eggs.
Yes, very good too.
Actually, wait, didn't we get this hen in the first Wario Land game?
I forgot.
No, we didn't. Remember, Wario didn't even have a castle.
Well, that's what I mean.
Didn't
that's what I mean. Didn't the hen come with the castle that they got in the first game?
No, he didn't. We just saw the castle and that was it. My guess is he got the hen later by himself.
Yeah. Also, interesting choice for music. Oh, there it is.
I gotta say, you for all that talk, for all the thing about Yoshi being the one that being about tax forward, why didn't Wario have that be the meme? It makes more sense.
Remember,
here's the thing: Wario actually pays his taxes, believe it or not. They had to actually explain in canon. And secondly, the thing with Yoshi started because of a German cover of Smash Brothers Ultimate. It also doesn't help that in a certain Mario Party game, I forget which one, Yoshi has a quote that actually suggests that he doesn't like to pay taxes, which only helped the meme grow.
Of course. Oh, goddammit.
Dang.
Don't worry, Wario's more acrobatic than we give him credit for.
It's called acrobatic, for a reason.
I know acrobatic.
Apparently, the one that they thought was the hand apparently wasn't. Damn.
I guess it was just a fake chicken? Yeah, what was the point of that?
Well, again, Wario's hand he probably produces golden eggs, so every other type, it's just, not worth it.
I'm guessing that the hens are there to trick you up, Pedro?
Not so much that. Wait, you talking about those hills?
No, I'm talking about the other hen.
The chicken that was at some point there.
Oh no, those are just roosters.
Okay.
And every time basically those roosters are after our hen, apparently.
Oh well, it makes sense,
It's mating season all the time for them.
I'm guessing. Roosters be the male chicken, hens be the female ones.
Secret passage.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, too, like I explained, this entire game is all about exploration.
So what happens? Oh, sorry.
Every level is a giant. Basically, take any other Game Boy platformer, take any level from that platformer. One of Wario Land 2's levels is about 10 of that game's levels. In terms of how much is there to play. Now go ahead. We've already know how this minigame works. Go ahead.
Java?
Right. I'm actually curious. So what happens if the roosters reach the hen?
They go. If they see you carrying the hen, they'll go after you and attack you.
Oh, kind of like
cuckoo style.
Yeah, kind of the cuckoos.
Except instead of protecting one of their own, they're literally just doing it for mating.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
That one. Second one to the left. The second left from the far right.
So, Java, don't say that one. We don't know which one you mean.
Oh, winged boots, I guess.
Little reference.
Wish those things had numbers so I could just describe which box.
All right, let's continue looking for.
Considering the levels are divided like that in chapters, despite that, the levels are so open that it reminds a bit of the Metroidvania.
Oh, there's the hen. You can tell it's them because she has eyelashes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're saying to you?
Well, I already saw her in the cutscene intro of this level.
Oh snap! That's a big cock.
Mind of the god, right? It's mind of the god right now.
You're so low on the humor scale.
So this is basically an escort mission, I guess.
You were saying too? Sorry.
Oh.
So this is basically just an escort mission when you get down to it.
I wouldn't call it that because it doesn't really work like a typical escort mission in a game. You just pick up the hen and then you go and you just jump over all the enemies and you go along. It's not really hard.
I guess it's Well, I mean, it depends on if you define that as escort. I guess it's technically not an escort since she's more of an item that you can pick up. Whereas, most escorts usually
Even
the
if you
person
ju-
you're escorting is another model in the field, or
If the hen cannot die.
There we go.
Anyway. Whoa.
Oh, Pedro. Just because the hen can't die doesn't mean it's not an escort mission. There are actually some where the person cannot die.
But yeah, like I said, despite being each separated with each level, like it really does the feeling of a more exploration like game. It's actually interesting, and all of this on the Game Boy, which still, despite everything, it adds still a limited amount of power.
Well, Tio, a lot of companies like to get the most they could out of their handhelds.
Are you sure?
Two. Yeah, I changed my mind when I realised.
It's like that's the thing too. Like this is by far in my eyes the best platformer in the entire system. Just because
I can see that.
Just because of the sheer amount of content and ambition it has. Because most platforms. Escape from the Woods, yeah. Most Game Boy platformers would just tend to go for the very typical formula that you already know from Mario type games and just roll with it.
Or be like Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters and had very unbalanced difficulty in a sense that the bosses are gigantic sponges for no reason.
Do we count that as a platformer, seeing as how the nature of that game?
It is. It's just it clearly wasn't developed by. I think if it was a different. If it was just a Japanese studio, it was different, but I don't think it was developed by a mainline Nintendo game. Hence why Uprising doesn't really count it that much in the canon.
Even though I think that they do have some.
I mean, it wasn't even it wasn't even released in Japan until on the Virtual Console. So yeah.
Let me see.
Myths and Monsters. That's like the in-between game.
Yeah.
Oh, the developers were Nintendo and a company called Tosei. A company.
Tosei. Okay. They also
basically Tosei is a company known for for being a ghost developer of sorts, where they don't put any of their names on the games.
Not just that, Dibs. They're basically the heavy lifters. A lot of times,
you'll see a lot of supporting work.
Yeah, basically, for example, they also did World of Final Fantasy, for example. Whereas Hiroki Chiba and his team did all the creative stuff, like the art and the story and the overall creative direction. The people who did the actual programming, the actual bug testing and all that stuff, that was Tosei. Basically Tosei does the heavy lifting, whereas their partners do all the creative stuff.
So in a sense, they're kind of like I get it. So they're basically the Inti Creates to Nintendo's concept.
Pretty much. Also, Drunken Wario was there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that he drank some sake since it's
in the original Japanese version, those things actually have bottles of sake. However, for the localized version, they changed it so that it's balls.
A bowling ball. And I'm guessing the status changes from being drunk to dizzy.
No, wait. I wonder.
This was back when Nintendo was still going through their all of our games need to be family friendly phase.
To be fair, though, like it's a thing that's tied to censorship. It's the same reason why Pokemon games have dropped the gambling ever since Gen 4, I think.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. I get why they.
I don't like that either.
I get why they do that with the music, because you're ill, but it's not pleasant at all to listen to.
That's kind of the point.
That's kind of the Game Boy Color soundtrack for you.
I know. I know it's the point, but just because something's the point doesn't mean I have to like it.
Sorry, dude, we have to teach kids that getting drunk is bad.
What do you think is worse, a badly used Game Boy sound chip or badly used Sega Genesis Mega Drive chip?
Badly used Game Boy sound chip, if only because that was so much easier to screw up.
Yeah, I think.
Suppose.
Well, it depends. I mean, some sound chips can either sound really, really good, or if you mishandle them, it's really, really bad. There's plenty of examples for all sorts of systems.
True,
like for the Super Nintendo, there was to an extent, Mega Man X3's music.
Oh no, you are not dissing that, Mister.
Yes, I am. I don't care what you say.
Ladies, you're both beautiful. We'll reserve that for that game because I know it's a shitstorm.
Wait, I thought I was the beautiful one out of the two.
I thought you loved me.
Yes, I love you. I love you for who you are, deep inside.
Get this, Pedro. I forgot which specific YouTuber was. It was one who collaborated with Carriers. I basically saw a video today of this guy covering, amongst other things, some old bad Disney games. And amongst other things, he actually showed the Fantasia Sega Genesis Mega Drive game. And man, those sound quality.
Remember, Teo, that was the game that made Disney go, okay, we need to get more creative control on this shit. And that's thanks to that we have the Aladdin game by David Perry.
Yep.
Funnily enough, not like in terms of sounding horrible, just weak, just a bit weaker. There was an example of that on the Sega Saturn. Funnily enough, some games didn't have the music playing from the disc; it just sent the data to the Saturn sound chip. And I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, but it's kind of true. The Shinobi Legion / Shinobi X, you know how they had the two different soundtracks depending on where you lived.
Yeah.
The Japanese / American versions had a soundtrack, but the sound fonts they used with the sound chip sounded really weak. Whereas in the European version,
Pedro, you don't have to hit that last box. You've already gotten what you need.
He's already dead.
I was gonna say, whereas in the
now he actually is dead too.
Dang.
I was gonna say, whereas in the European version, not only the actual songs themselves better, but they also sound better too. I guess, which is baffling because the original composers had all the time they needed to make the sound. Whereas Richard Jacques, the guy did the European one, only had 2 weeks.
Well, if there's one thing that I noticed through the decades is that Sega has an interesting... Oh, there you go.
Sega have an interesting history of replacing soundtracks.
Well, no, in general, and how they treated the Shinobi franchise in general.
Yeah, I mean, after Shinobi X, that's the European name, by the way, there was a long delay.
The PS2, we got the PS2 games with Hotsuma and Ibana. Oh, there we go. And then another gap before the 3DS game that nobody cared.
Well, considering that Sega's on a bit of a... Sega likes to be experimenting with not just their old franchises, but with some new ones recently.
I'm glad that thanks to crossovers, the PS2 games have gained new popularity, because back when they came out, nobody cared about them. So...
yeah.
Which crossovers?
Project Cross Zone 2, Jova, and the Sega Heroes more recently.
I'll explain more about the soundtracks when this part's done.
Speaking of which, Gio, you're the one handling Namco X Capcom for the channel, right?
Yeah.
I'm guessing fan translation with that PS2 mod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you and your fan translations, though. I'm going when I do those kind of games. I'm going full Japanese.
Oh damn! How do you throw that up?
No. It's simple. That was just me who made a mistake. Basically, if you want to throw
in an arc,
all you have to do is hold up and throw, and you'll throw up. And
so it's like Smash.
And you can also hold B, so you can charge the throw and make an even more powerful throw.
Oh, that's kind of the magic also of it, Jova. Despite being working for the their game as well, the Smash rolls a series controls where the characters actually mimic their actual controls for their original games.
Oh so, yeah, absolutely. That's
Sakurai loves to be pinpoint referential like that. Foxes that carry torches.
Let me guess, Kitsunes?
I suppose. But I don't remember Kitsunes being associated with fire.
Some have, you got stuff like, Vulpix and Ninetales.
True,
so, Pedro, when are we meeting who's behind all this?
We already know who's behind this, Dwebs.
Up.
I don't know what you're talking about, Pedro. It could be literally anyone.
Yet. It could be anyone.
I wonder who.
Maybe it's Rosalina.
Never mind the fact that we already know.
Mario's getting revenge.
Yes, it was me all along.
You stole my stuff, I steal yours.
No, never mind the fact that Mario already got his revenge at the end of the previous game, so...
It's not enough for him. The guy is so consumed with rage, he'll stop at nothing to ruin Wario's life.
Maybe it's Princess Daisy. No, that doesn't make sense. She's got Saras Land.
She's a princess, but actually, considering how sporty she is, she could probably kick Wario's ass.
True that.
Alright.
And we know it's not Waluigi because he'll never be canon.
Sorry, Jover, but it seems that he goes wah at night. When he goes to sleep, he does that, but not that he cries a lot.
Alright, time to see what this treasure is.
Oh, on the hard setting.
No,
or never mind, normal.
We'll go with normal.
I mean, just you don't have to spend all the coins.
Okay.
2,
Right.
1,
go!
Oh, fuck it.
Aha, start him right.
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
Got it.
Alright, I got it. And it's
a dagger.
A dagger, yeah.
Very weak looking dagger.
And we're done.
Don't look at me like that.
Hey, at least it's not as bad as Melina's smile.
I'm pretty sure Wario has a better denture than her Katan Jova.
I know, right?
There you go.
Alright,
Okay.
let's see.
Oh.
Could be a 4.
Obviously.
I knew it was a 0.
It was a 0.
So let's use the sands of time to cheat our way back.
You knew it was a 0, Whoops?
Yeah, I did.
He totally did. They didn't,
No,
shut it
it's like
randomly.
it's that. No. What you should say to Pedro is that thing. It's that Twitter comment that became a meme recently. You did that and deprived yourself of the experience on some shit.
You cheated. You gained absolutely nothing. You deprived yourself of a true victory. You should feel ashamed of yourself.
Getting the teacup. Okay.
SS Teacup? Are we going on a boat?
Yes, we are.
Then,
Well, don't you remember?
Yeah.
Don't you remember, Jova? In the first game, there was a ship called the SS Teacup. It belonged to Syrup.
Huh. Oh, so Syrup's involved.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe Syrup will be able to help us figure out who's really behind all this.
That's the name.
I wonder.
That's the name. For some reason, I thought she was called Honey.
Hopefully she won't have any bad feelings about last time.
Who, Annie
Oh,
Lemon?
totally.
Annie Lemon
But
from
I'm
Big Annie Lemon from Big Hero 6.
No, I thought. No, that's I was thinking about that anime character.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
there's an anime
technically-
character called Honey. Don't ask.
Well, technically, Honey Lemon is an anime character since she's from Marvel Japan.
You know, it's really funny considering how, Big Hero 6 initially started off as a spin-off to the X-Men of all things.
Well, guess who owns the X-Men film rights now?
Yep.
Yeah, which makes me wonder, maybe in a Big Hero 6 sequel, they can actually have Silver Samurai return as the leader, Tio.
Well, most likely will probably happen in the TV show that's going on right now.
Oh yeah, that's right, Disney are still keeping that thing going.
There you go.
It's a good show, it's just, I've been worried about them continuing it because...
At this point, I'll just wait till Disney Plus launches round here and watch it there.
Hey, we have no guarantee they'll put everything on there. They just said they'll put all their movies on there. They're totally going to leave out Song of the South.
Jova, is it really a casualty worth crying over?
No, I am not crying over that. I'm just saying it's like, what's up? They say, oh, we're totally going to bring every one of our movies. Yep, every single one.
As someone who actually saw it, because there are ways, obviously. I can tell that the movie is boring. It's so boring.
So it's both. Wow, that's like the cinematic equivalent of hell. It's both racist and boring.
That's the thing, Dwebs. That's the thing, Dwebs. The nostalgia could put it best. Is it racist? Maybe yes, maybe not. It's quite hard. It's kind of hard to tell at times. That's the thing.
I'm sorry, what movie?
Song of the South.
AKA the movie that totally doesn't exist, or what Disney wants you to forget about. Even though we still have a flipping ride based off of it.
Again, Joe, but don't want to put it past. It's kind of hard to tell if it's racist or not, but Disney's not going to take that chance anyway. So.
What? You know, I just find it funny that they still actually credit the song. Like, there's literally a remix of a song which actually lists the name of the movie it's from. There's a ride fashioned after it, Splash Mountain, that shows up at several of their parks. Yeah, doing a bang-up job of trying to hide that movie.
Isn't there a Splash Mountain at Disneyland Paris?
Yeah, there is. I'm pretty sure there is.
Why can't we have like a? Well, I know we got Alton Towers, but why can't we have a branded theme park like this?
Yeah, that is surprising, and you even have the Sonic the Hedgehog ride.
I don't know why Disney decided to.
I
only
know,
major Disneyland theme park is only in Paris.
There's Paris and there's Florida.
Don't worry, Jova. Don't worry, Jova. I'm sure, just like with the original theatrical cuts of the Star Wars trilogy, I'm sure it's much like Harmy. Did those? I'm pretty sure there's a dedicated fan out there on the internet who's trying to do a proper HD fan remaster of the Song of South Laserdisc.
Maybe.
Just stick with the animated cartoon sections like most people do. Like, you know what's funny?
It's a gem. Oh, it's the Phantom Ruby.
You know what's funny? My mom watched that movie as a kid, and she fell asleep during it to the point where she missed out on the animated sequences, which were apparently the best thing for kids at the time, and are pretty much the only thing that Disney will acknowledge these days. And the last thing she saw was pretty much the end of it.
Wow, must have been. Do you still have the VHS or?
No. I'm saying she saw it as a kid in theaters.
Oh, wait. When did it come out? The 50s?
The 70s, I think, wasn't it?
I'll check.
Or was it?
It would fit with the behavior of the Dark Age of Disney back in the day.
I think it was either that or the
Song
60s.
of the South release year.
Song of the South was released in United States. 1996.
What?
I'm sorry, it cut out. What did it say?
1946.
Oh.
Probably a re-release, I guess?
Yes. My mom was a kid when she saw one of the re-releases. That movie had quite a few re-releases before it became more so taboo.
Oh, well.
I mean, there were some good intentions with that movie.
Yeah, it did get some re-releases in 1956, in 1972.
All right,
there you go.
1973, 1980, 86. I mean, hell, in Europe and Asia, especially on the BBC, our big broadcaster, it was shown as recently as 2006 on Cuts.
Okay.
Wait, oh wow.
Okay, that's most likely the the highest quality version that we have there, because by that point they
the anchor.
Yes, now that we've entered the SS Teacup, we're going to drop the anchor so that this ship is coming to a stop.
I'm sorry, you're going to do what to my ship?
Ooh, Chef Bowls with throwing cakes. Is this for audio?
Welcome to the other form of Wario, Fat Wario. And we have the hilarious clown type music.
I'm going to give it to you a good clean. The ship is very dirty.
Of course, it's trying to simulate a trombone. Or a tuba, or maybe
That's okay, by just walking, he can immediately shed all those pounds.
I remember that throwaway gag from Family Guy. I think it's a trombone.
I got a job following around fat people with a tuba.
Yeah, it's a tuba actually.
Yeah. Oh, okay then.
Anyway, Bob, I was just coming in to give your ship a good clean. It's very dirty.
Right.
Seriously, look, there's all brown everywhere. You don't take good care of your ships, do you?
It's wood. Wood is brown.
Nah, it's debatable. Sometimes wood can be a lighter shade of brown, sometimes even green.
Of course, I'll just let security know to let you in. Guards, kill him. I'll come to deal with you right away.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
between these and Shantae, why the hell female Captain Pirates surround themselves with bare incompetent minions?
I mean, I guess Risky has the excuse that I fish. Oh wait, no.
You're right. Risky kind of stole the crew from her boss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Captain
pretty
Hook
much.
style.
So she didn't exactly get. She didn't exactly get to be, a chooser in that sense,
True.
We've got a slight problem about that Kill Wario order.
What is it?
We're throwing cakes in it, but nothing's happening. It seems to be making them stronger.
You're throwing cakes at him.
Poor
we
guys.
we thought he would develop diabetes or something.
You better not have
Dark
been giving him the
Pedro.
mega mushroom cake.
Don't worry, don't have that. We just have the
My
we just
name-
have the mega strawberry cake.
My
The
name
mega
is
strawberry cake, you fool! That's supposed to be saved for the mooks.
Why
My
did you give us it then?
Because you're supposed to feed it to the mooks, not throw it at our adversaries.
My name is Wario, and I have the diabetes.
Goodness gracious. I'll give the...
But seriously, Pam, could you have given us better weapons than forks? Oh shit!
You're the chef! You're not even supposed to be fighting. What are
Yes,
you
Pedro?
even doing there?
Nothing to, actually. I'm just...
Oh, sorry, my bad.
There you go.
Oh,
About the...
that's a Mega Man Zero style. Sorry, Mega Man X kind of like trick, like wave dashing.
Yeah.
It's same difference. Zero is a continuation of X, so
True. Well, I played those games and they work a tad bit differently than X. They are continuation story-wise, gameplay-wise, they are a bit different.
well, less.
I love how-
Super Nintendo / PlayStation compared to Game Boy
and way
Advance.
more hard.
I love how one of the releases of the X collections included a little snippet to explain how Zero takes place after X8.
That too. Well, no, Java, if you're talking about the secret ending of X6, it was already present in the original game, but basically with the future release, it's basically stated that it happens sometime after the last game in the X series, whether it be 8 or eventually new releases that Capcom will do.
Yep. I remember
Mega
used to be
Man-
uncertain.
Right, got it. Mega Man X died. Axel spiked Zero's drink or something with Sleeping.
So that gives
If
you a
on
little
Whips,
bit-
believe me, Mega Man Zero takes. If Mega Man X games were already like a turn for the dark, the Mega Man Zero games goes way too high on that. And talking about, kind of like the meme that a lot of people do, where Dr. Light is basically implied to be the true main villain of the entire Mega Man franchise up until Legends, because that's the main continuity before Battle Network. The Zero games kind of cements that.
Yeah.
And then after Zero comes ZX.
I gotta say
Alright.
that the Battle Network continuity, whether it's separate or connected.
It's separated,
It's separate.
and it makes sense because it's way more light-hearted
we
and for younger audiences.
We got Mega Man and Roller's love interests. We got Dr.
Gutsman
Wily.
as a supporting character.
We got Dr. Wily leading an evil group.
So not much
a la
has
Team
changed
Rocket.
there. Yeah, it makes sense also because it would be weird for them to go from robots to all of a sudden net navis, which are kind of a step down from robots, if you ask me.
They are.
Besides, like I said, with Legends, the continuity had already pretty much reached not the conclusion, because we know how infamously the cliffhanger of Legends 2 is, but in a sense of...
Basically, those red blocks can only be broken by Fat Wario.
By Fat Wario,
Makes sense.
True, it makes sense. Point being, Legends
Alright.
cements how the continuity... Oh, time to drop the anchor.
Drop anchor.
No, this is...
Drop the anchor.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was how Shark Tale got his plot started.
Pretty much.
It was all Wario's fault.
Thanks, Wario.
Thank you. You helped kickstart a shitty movie.
Alright, let's see. Well, we got 4 in the previous number, so it's probably not this one either.
Okay,
Or
8
is it?
or 9?
6?
There's
No.
8 or 9.
3?
Okay, so it's not a 4.
Ah!
So it
That's
was an
8.
8.
Damn it.
Could have been a 3 though.
Yeah, that's what I suggested.
And past Pedro heard you, apparently.
Hey, well done. Hey, wait a minute. You reversed time, didn't you, using your time turn?
You filthy cheater. Cheaters never prosper. I wonder what this painting will be.
Boy, this really harkens back to... Well, I mean, I guess Smash harkens back to this with the whole complete the picture thing.
You could have used the time turner to, I don't know, solve world peace, or
I suppose...
or cure someone of their disease, but nope, you had to use it for a Game Boy game.
I suppose Sakurai loved this kind of formula for collectibles and everything and decided to implement it full force. Alright then, so what will happen next, Pedro, I guess?
In the next part, we continue to explore the SS Teacup so we can finally find out who's behind all of this.
Yeah.
Alright, see ya.
See ya.